Imagine if we did this live. Oh, that'd be awkward.
It'd probably be easier because we'd just be on the spot. But there's nothing we can do. You just got to go with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. We're started. That's it.
Good luck, my friend. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to, or if it's your first time, welcome to the Matt and Max podcast. I'm obviously Matt. Max is Max, as you'll see by the names down below. And how you doing, bro? How you been?
I'm good, mate. I'm good, thank you. I'm very good.
And exciting news. First of all, this is episode 3, which, given the state of previous projects that we've tried to work on together or previous channels, episode 3 that's good going, to be fair.
It is, yeah, and
like
regular as well. Every week, like
exactly every
same
week,
day, same
Saturday,
time.
4 p.m. That's the main.
I like
goal.
it.
The first week was a bit awkward. Did you actually explain that story about what happened on the first week? Or what happened? Because that like so much was going on. I was like out and away. You were like messaging me,
Mate,
and we tried to get the
headache.
podcast up on the Saturday at 4 p.m. as the big like launch.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was originally supposed to be up on the 1st of March, but then Fortnite happened, and I was like,
what happened
give me
with
a
that
sec.
again?
So like, we were going to record it, and I'm pretty sure we were going to record it the day season 3 of Fortnite dropped.
Okay.
And that's been like the biggest Fortnite day for me. So
yeah.
it's like, nope,
it's like
can't.
the worst possible time. Yeah.
Literally, and I think Rocket League had just dropped an update as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
shit.
I was like just in the mix there, like I don't honestly.
It was
really
like the
know what
worst
to do.
possible time, yeah, for it
Pretty
to start.
much. But the fact we were like, instead of just saying, oh, let's just not do it, and then actually didn't do it, we've actually like just pushed it back a bit and still stuck to it from that point.
Yeah, and then once you get momentum going, then it's just like just smash it every week. Because it's not really much of a commitment, like sitting here once a week for 2 hours or so, hour, not even that, like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not really much of a commitment. Then all I've got to do really doesn't take long, to be honest, and then that's it. It's really not a commitment at all. It's just always the hardest part about podcasts is always like starting a podcast. Yeah. So we always struggle with that, and then like once we get that down, it just flows normally. It's absolutely fine, but it's starting it, and then it's also not just starting it, but like you wake up that day, you're like, right, I'm actually going to record a podcast today.
Yeah, think about topics or something.
You're never really in the right like mindset to start one. You never, you know what I mean? You've always got to throw yourself in and just force yourself to do it. Because imagine sitting there and feel like, you know what, for the next 2 hours, I'm gonna talk. Like you can never, you're never in a position where you want to do that. Really.
Exactly.
I've had
similar situations, like,
very rare occasions where you would, but
I've had it with like 5-minute videos, 10-minute videos where I'd be like, you know what, I want to do a vlog and just talk at the camera. I've done that a couple times, but for like 2 hours.
2 hours, a bit different. Yeah.
And like when you haven't done episode 1 and you think, right, podcast hour to 2 hours, the concept of doing that every week at first seems impossible. It's like, how am I going to be consistent enough to do a whole hour to 2 hours of content a week with someone else, blah, 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 given everything else going on. But then now that we've been doing it, it feels ages since we last recorded one. You know what I mean?
It does, yeah.
And it feels so doable, which is hopefully why we're going to keep going, because, you know...
well, to be fair, this is technically the longest it has been without recording one when you think about it.
9 days or something.
What's that?
I think it's been about 9 days.
Something like that, yeah. We normally record on Wednesdays, then upload on Saturdays, just because it gives enough to in case anything goes wrong. It's a lot of like footage, so like 2 hours of footage.
We say that, but then like I'll message you on Thursday, like, said, "How's it looking?" You're like, "We got time, lad."
That is true. Yeah, I don't really do anything till like Friday evening. Like
that's the thing. So you'll probably
so
edit this at the same time as you edited the last one.
Yeah, probably, mate. Probably.
It gives you that extra like comfort, I guess.
I find it so hard, man. I find it so hard to get to like start things or just do things when it's not.
When you know you have time.
When it's not urgent. Like my whole school life, my whole college life, when it comes to essays or any assignments or anything, always, mate, without fail, always start like the night before. I swear to God, every time.
Especially
it's
like
always
those
an
subjects, like remember
be.
like geography, like or something like that. The subjects that were quite infrequent, and you'd see the due date in your diary. Let's say it's the 1st of like March or whatever. You see the due date, it's like Wednesday the 13th, and you're like, you're not doing that till the 12th because it's so far away. But if you were to do your homework for the next day, you'd get used to it and it'd be good. You'd be so productive. But
that's what my dad's always been like. Because my dad was like really good academically. Like he like aced to school, yeah. So he obviously doesn't understand what the fuck happened to his son. So like, so I go to school and I just don't get anything done. Like my whole school life, I've always been an issue for them. Like, and my whole school life, my dad's always been wondering like what the fuck is going on. And like I don't know how to explain it to him. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't understand how we're related. If he was literally at the best in his class when he was younger. Like, it's mad. Yeah, I am the polar opposite. The polar opposite. I have the attention span of a goldfish, man, I swear. Yeah, and it's being disciplined with your work. So if you have a 2,000 word essay due in let's say a month, that's easy when you think about it. When you think about how much time you have, and then how much you need to do, it should be easy. There's no reason why that should be being left to the last night. And if you did like, how many words is that a day you got to do? You know,
if it's in a month, that's like less than 100. But see, I was gonna say something like that. Like everyone's advice for that sort of thing, they're like, oh, let's say you've got like let's make the maths easier, 3,000 word essay in a month, which averages like 100 words a day. Yeah. But nobody does that. Nobody would do 100 words and be like, stop, because even if you're on it or you're not on it, you get on the roll and do it like maybe in two sittings, or maybe I always did it in one, because like when you start, it's so hard to stop. But like, who realistically does like, because 100 words are like 2 sentences, 3, 4, 5 sentences tops. Like if it's like a proper lengthy essay, like basically like a paragraph, who would just do that? And like, nah, it would feel so disjointed. And if you do that every day, the start of the essay is written a month before the end, and like, how can that flow? You know what I mean?
Can't. Like, I used to tell myself that when I used to be in college, like, because college for me was the worst when it comes to essays and stuff like that. Because school you just get homework, you get like questions to complete or something like that. But
multiple choice.
But when you do a BTEC in college, it's every week it's like a new assignment, so you're constantly doing essays. And if you do let's say like a couple hundred words a day, which isn't that bad, like you would be fine. But and every time, because I used to have brutal nights, mate. Brutal nights when it came to nights prior to my deadlines. I've seen some of your
Snapchat stories, like how you did all night. So you'd like go to the shop in the morning, it'd be all grey outside, and you'd be like still going or something like that. Oh my god! I've never done an all-nighter for work. Never. That sounds horrible.
My god, man, that blows my mind.
I don't think I've ever worked like really late.
It feels like the only time I can. I swear, that's
your mind's like buzzing. Maybe that's linked with your whole like sleep thing, though, isn't it? Like,
I don't know. I would say that, but with students, like, I think it's for not. Honestly, I think you are just a very. You're a fucking anomaly, mate, in this situation by a stretch, mate. I think 99% of students, mate, like pull all-nighters for their work. Yeah, mate, 90% minimum. Like, wow. Yeah, most people aren't like you. There's no way. Mate, everyone that I've ever known, mate, is like pulling all-nighters left, right, and centre. Like, friends that I met at school, and then I go to college, making new friends, they're all doing that as well. Maybe I'm not fucking meeting the right people, mate, but I don't know. Like,
yeah, no, I can't. But it's like, nah, I think I do like long working like hours, for instance. Like, say when I did maths A-level, that's when I worked the hardest. And I do like 6-hour sessions in a row, but it'd always be like 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. Like, I'd never go like overnight. Like, nah, gotta sleep. Gaming, however, I can go to like 5 a.m. and think I really need to sleep, otherwise the next day's gonna be ruined. That's the only reason why I do sleep by that point. I think it's just like I don't want to ruin my next day. Like, it's bad.
Nah, gaming could suck you in, but with work, the reason it's all night is because it's due the next day. So like
so
let's say I've got an assignment due in, what's the day today?
Friday. So
let's say I've got an assignment due in Saturday. I wouldn't do it in a day. I'd tell myself, right, like, realistically, like, actually no, what I'll do, that's not true. What I'll do is, let's say it's due in tomorrow, let's say like 5 p.m. is I actually, like, from the moment I wake up today, because it's always gets left to the last day. Like, I'm not conscious about it till the last day. So I'll wait for that day to come. So I'll wait for Friday to come, and then all day I'll be like, right, next game I'm gonna do a couple hundred words, and maybe I'll do 100, 200, but it will always come. And I don't know how it happens every time without fail. I never learn from my mistakes, but it will always come to about 10 p.m. I'm sat there, I'm like, right, I've got 100 words, I've got 3,000 words due in tomorrow daytime. I have to stay. It becomes to the point where you don't choose to, like, you have to. You have to.
But has that ever happened where, like, has that ever actually screwed you, or do you always get it done?
I always smash it, mate. I always smash it.
Maybe that's why you've not actually felt the negative repercussions of leaving it to the last minute yet. You know what I mean? Like, if once you actually
spat my coffee out when you said that, mate. Many negative repercussions, mate.
I mean, in terms of like failing,
grade-wise,
like
no, but like for example, I'll get so with BTEC you get a pass, merit, or distinction.
Yeah.
I'll maybe sometimes get a merit where if I did do it with enough time in hand, I would have got a distinction. I have lost grades a lot because I rush it. Because in all honesty, mate, every assignment I've ever had, I could get a distinction on. Nothing's passed me. Do you know what I mean? In that sense,
I get. Yeah.
It's not like they're giving us, problems or questions that are my brain literally. Even if I sit there for hours, it's nothing. It's all every single time, mate. Every grade just comes down to discipline. Honestly, it's not to do with who's smarter. It's just who puts in the work.
Pretty much, yeah.
You don't, no. You have some idiots. You got some fucking idiots. Like, I've seen some poor work in my time.
At uni or just in general?
Nah, mate, in college, mate. Oh my god, mate. I've seen some essays and I'm reading it. I'm like, you just can't believe like how illiterate they are. It's mad. And they'll start weeks with, mate. There was people in my class, or not even in my class, but like people that I knew in college, who would like work every day, and like when they get given the assignment, they'll work on it throughout the month, and they'll get like passes and merits, and I'm there waiting till the last night doing it all in one stretch, and then clutching a merit. You know what I mean? So I think for some people, I think that's the problem, isn't it? Because for some people, they like the people who like work all month and they get a merit, they have to. Like, you know what I mean? That's just that's what they have to do. It's not like they choose to work all month. If they don't work all month, they're failing. I know that if I leave it till the last day, I'll at least pass. I'll never not pass, but
Yeah, exactly.
So mate, it was me and academics just don't go well, mate. Like in the slightest.
But do you think, in terms of your future, I don't know how much we've actually spoken about this on the podcast, but like you've sort of dropped out of uni, not officially, but you dropped out, but officially. So like, do you see like any sort of education in your future, or do you want to go down like the sort of employment, then sort of own business route, or like working up a ladder?
Do you mean like
not like literally working up a ladder, by the way, like the corporate ladder rather than like
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Do you mean like education as in school or college or uni, or just any kind of education?
I mean, what other education were you thinking?
Well, like you could teach yourself stuff. You could teach yourself like how to fucking.
Oh yeah, stuff like that.
I mean? Like
not including that, but like official education, like
official education. Yeah.
Do you think you'd go back to university for anything, or not really? I can imagine now it seems unlikely, given that you just left.
Yeah, now's probably not the best time to give like a completely accurate answer. I think it's not out of the picture.
Yeah.
But I've just never ever been like someone who could sit there and crank out an essay or like do things. I don't like being told what to do, and it sounds bad. And like I know it probably goes for a lot of people, but I really don't like being told what to do. And when someone tells me that I've got to do an essay in like a month or something like that, I just fucking mate. If it's not something that I want to do, I can't do it. If it's not something that I've told myself I've got to do, I find it really hard to do it.
I suppose that makes
it could be the same exact shit task, but if I tell myself I'm going to do it, I'm more likely to do it than if someone else was like a teacher or
definitely.
And I don't even know why I went to uni. Honestly, it was kind of stupid why I went to uni, because my whole school life, mate, I've been.
Were you not set on going to uni?
Hey, what's that, mate?
Like, were you not set on going to uni originally?
Nah, not really, man. I never wanted to go to uni. It wasn't until I was finishing college, and then I was talking to my dad, and then he somehow convinced me that uni was a good idea.
I can imagine that playing a part in it, yeah. Because that's just like, it is just a way, like, it does kind of open opportunities, but it also, in the same way, it kind of prolongs having to make any real decisions, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. I feel like a lot of people who stay in uni, I feel like they stay in there because it does just prolong how long. How am I trying to say? You know what I mean? It prolongs, not having to have any proper responsibility.
Yeah,
like not just like obviously you got a lot of responsibilities in college, but then and in uni even. But then once you leave, you basically go through what I'm going through now, which is like a pretty shit time, because I'm currently in a position where I'm unemployed, I'm out of education, and I have way too much time. But because I have way too much time, I feel like I've got no time. It's hard. There must be a saying or something like the more time you have, the less you have or something. There's got to be
probably something like that. Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now, because that's some shit right there.
That's good. That's gold. That is, mate.
That is.
But like, I get what you're saying. Like, I imagine, like, because you were obviously looking into getting employment, and you were thinking about full time, right?
Yeah.
And like, I genuinely think with full time employment, even if it is horrible, like most full time jobs are at our age, the productivity levels overall, and particularly when you're not at the job, are way higher, I think. Like
it's forced discipline when you think about it. Like if you think of discipline as a muscle, like, and every, let's say Monday to Friday 9 to 5, you have to go to work, because if you don't, you get fired. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, it's like
discipline,
life or death,
but
by
it's
this
not
point. You
at
need
the
money,
same time.
You need to live. Yeah,
it depends how you define discipline, because a lot of people will say having self-discipline is when you stick to things that sort of you've arranged that don't have any external repercussions if you don't do them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So, like, if, for example, if I say to myself, right, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, that's like discipline to yourself. That's like self-discipline. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a job, if you know, it's discipline, but you're not going because you're trying to be disciplined. You're going because you need the money, and you're going to get sacked if you don't.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it's still discipline. You know what I mean? So you're still, you know, if you think of it as a muscle, you're still working that muscle out. So a month of working full time, you're going to be way more used to your discipline muscle. Like, theoretically, it's going to be a lot stronger. So you're going to be able to do things you don't want to do, if that makes sense.
You discipline yourself to the point where you have to do these things you don't want to do, and like you said, like I can imagine you working a month of full-time work, it would like suck in a way, but like there would be so much more routine because you have to.
So much more.
Have to. Like
even
that's
gym.
The one thing I really miss in my life is just any element of, because I know you said like about not being told what to do, and I love the whole being your own boss type thing, or very much working with other people rather than for them sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is the whole like when it's all on you. I wish there was something that sort of pushed me a bit harder to do things, like basically just to do things and not be sloppy, I can imagine
that's a big issue. Yeah.
That's the one, like, because that's something I used to be so good with, because like as like almost like a goody two shoes kind of thing. Like school was kind of like I would go every day, and it's not a question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's just something I had to do, and that made me more productive. And whereas now it's like the only person I'm affecting is me, literally me.
Yeah.
So I'm like just
I can imagine like it's difficult. Well, I first-hand experience how difficult that is. Like it's only difference between me and you is I guess yours is like a choice. Like you're in a financial position where you don't need a job, so although you want a job to get structure, you wouldn't be able to justify getting a job because
that's the thing.
You know, £7 an hour just don't quite cut it for you anymore. Like
that's the thing. Like part of me was genuinely thinking like I could literally just get a part-time job 3-4 days a week just to do something.
Yeah,
but like,
can you really justify
it's really
hours?
Not. Yeah, exactly. It's so pointless because the money would make next to no difference on a part-time job. Yeah, and for the amount of time it takes, like it just is not worth it. Like, which is weird. It's a blessing, obviously, but like
of course. But it is weird. It is weird. I definitely I did I worked about 40 hours a week for a year when I did my apprenticeship, and I definitely got more done each week. You know, outside of work, like more done. When I say more done, I mean YouTube wise, really.
You are uploading regularly.
Yeah, man. Because and even with gym as well, because in my head I think, right, I have to be at work for 9:30. Yeah, so I need to get up at. I mean, at one point it was like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I remember.
But let's say 6.
So
like
early.
Yeah, so let's say I get up at 6. I get to I wake up, do my thing, whatever. Get to the gym it was normally honestly wake up at 6 and like get to the gym for like 7, for example.
7, yeah.
And then you work out for like an hour and a half, shower, then walk to work, and I'd get there for like 9:30 every time. And having that routine makes, because you're fitting gym's not just sort of like an item floating about that you can sort of do whatever you want. It's got its own slot in the day. Does that make sense? Like it's got its own section. So if you're not doing gym, what the fuck am I going to do?
Exactly.
It's not like I'm going to sleep in. I still need to get up for 9:30 anyway. I get an extra hour or maybe, like, who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think by the time sleep gets like 6-7 hours, an extra hour doesn't really feel any different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then when trying to keep a regular sort of gym routine now is I get up in the morning and I'm, instead of fighting that battle saying, do I sleep another hour or, go gym and, start my day properly, now the question is, do I sleep till 3 p.m. or do I get up and do gym? And it's much harder to, pick the...
exactly. Like you said, if you have to get up anyway for something, it's so easy to get up earlier. But like you said, if the only thing you'd want to do when you get up is the gym, then it's like,
and then
you have to be motivated to do the gym,
Yeah, and then I'll know that when I get back from work at like I finish work at 5 and then I get back at let's say 5:30.
Yeah.
Then I know that straight away before I like chill, I'm gonna just get a video recorded, you know, do that, you know, get like that thing out of the day, out of the way.
Too, like,
yeah, exactly.
well.
And it's so much easier to do, man. When you have too much free time, you get fuck all done. You get nothing done.
It's such a weird thing though, because like, looking at it on the outside, I think. Like, you think, oh, I've got all this free time, I've got more time to be productive. But I think there is a point where, like, the human body just can't be productive for that long, all the time, you know, as like a habit. So it depends. Free time becomes wasted time, I think.
Yeah, it does. Because,
like, by now, free time for me, I don't relish in free time anymore. You know, I don't sit back and think,
I've got free time.
That
is it. That's the biggest thing, surely.
I can't remember the last time I sat down and thought, whew, I'm beat, you know, like
man, yeah. I can't remember that either.
Like, you get home from school, you take off your I'd cycle home, I'd be like sweaty, I'd sit on a chair and be like, oh, what a day.
Definitely, yeah, exactly. Oh,
my God.
And then you really enjoy the free time. Now it's just like, I'm chilling, I'm not getting things done, I'm playing fucking whatever game, and I'm sat there and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Like, when you think about it,
two games of Rocket League used to feel fulfilling. It's like, oh yeah, just sitting down, playing. Now it's
these games.
Do you want to play 20 games in a row for no real reason? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, man, exactly. And it becomes so difficult, man. Like, that's why I'm looking forward to. I don't know if did I tell you this earlier that I'm getting a job at Tesco.
You did that was in the works, yeah.
Yeah, well, like, it's not guaranteed.
You'll be working at the one near me if that goes through. So I can pop
Fleetsbridge, mate, Fleetsbridge. Yeah, exactly. That'd be good, but it's not guaranteed. But like, it can't, you know, it's probably gonna happen.
I almost worked at Tesco instead of McDonald's, but
really,
you know, when you work there, you have to. If you guys don't know watching, you have to do like a sort of an online. So almost like general knowledge, basic sort of test before you get the interview.
Yeah.
And I did it, and obviously, like, I'm a smart guy, you know, like, Tesco is not, it's not too difficult if you feel what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And I did it to the most logical answers, and I was like, right, well, that's it then. And I failed, and I was like, why? And then everyone around me, like my family, failed, and then I was like, oh, so I can't work at Tesco. So I went to McDonald's. Then a few days later, they were like, Tesco put out an announcement saying like, yeah, there's a problem with the website. You could do it now, because it wouldn't let me redo the test. And I was like,
you would have been at Tesco. Well,
so I would have been at Tesco if they accept me on the interview, that is. But like, I just thought I'd failed the test, when in actual fact no one was passing, and they were calling people into the store to do the test on the computers there, because it just wasn't working. So I could have easily worked at Tesco, because that's like almost like a go-to for like a young kid, you know. It's like supermarket, fast food. That's the kind of choice.
Yeah.
Had the website worked, and if I passed, I'm pretty sure I should have done, because, you know, the answers are kind of no-brainers for the most part.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I don't know what, I mean, that's just weird to think about, really. The whole
that is crazy. Yeah.
Tesco, because I'm sure it's so different.
I'm sure they're shit as each other, to be honest, mate. Like, I've worked at Tesco before, back in the day, really? When work experience came around. Yeah, that's where I did my work experience. Did a week at Tesco.
How'd it go? Mate, how old were we in work experience? 15?
For 1 week, 15, something like that. For 1 week, mate, it was fucking eventful. For like 1 week, mate. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
What can I even say? Like, I don't know. So, I mean, how do I even put this? Well, one, it was the shittest week of all time. Like, really? It was that week that made me there was a couple things that made me realise that I don't want to have just a generic job, but that week was definitely a big point in my life where I was like, in fact, I don't think I'll ever forget. I won't even forget his facial features or anything. I don't even know the fucking guy. But when I was working at Tesco for a week, I vividly remember walking past one of the guys there. Looks like 60 years old, something like that, and he had a badge saying proud employee for over 25 years.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I was like, whoa, hang the fucking boat up, lads. Hang the boat up? What is that even a saying? I don't know where that came from, but yeah, I was like,
hang the boat up, lads.
Hang the boat up. That's my new thing. So I saw it, I was like, hang the fucking boat up. What's going on? Like, 25 years, man. I look at that and it scares me. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I look at him and I'm like, is he content with that?
Yeah.
Was that?
Is he proud, or was he just slapped with the badge?
Was he forced into that, or was that like? Are there people? It blows my mind. There definitely is people like this.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I can't believe
that is their life.
Like, yeah, but they're content with it. It's not like, you know, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but
maybe he was just in a dead-end job for 25 years.
Yeah, but like there has to be people out there who will look at there has to be someone out there who looks at a place like Tesco's and thinks, you know what, I'm happy doing that for the rest of my life. I mean, there has to be.
Yeah, I think for lack of ambition, 100%. Like people that, but like a similar point. It was weird to me that people like when I remember before I got my job at McDonald's, I was like, hey, by the time the year's up, I didn't know I was quitting, obviously, like for YouTube, because it wasn't going anywhere by that point. I was like, you know, I could be like a crew trainer or an assistant manager, like working my way up. Yeah. And then you see like people on the crew room, and it's like, I've been working at McDonald's for like 40 years. I started as a crew member, now I'm like a manager in like the offices and stuff. And I'm just like, staying in McDonald's your whole working life. Like, but there are people like that are there with like
promotions and, you know.
Yeah. There's like the people that go down the managerial route, but then there are people like crew members or like shop floor workers that it's almost like you work with them and it's like they don't have any ambitions and they're just like settling. They're like every weekend they blow their paycheck or a quarter of it on going out, for the weekend. And it's literally just Monday to Friday, weekend, blah blah blah, and
probably has to be the worst like lifestyle you can get into. It's living for the weekend,
and it'll get old as well. Like
but for a lot of people it doesn't. That's the thing, and they just waste their life just working in the week. The week isn't even. They don't even like. Doesn't even count as like living. It's like the week is like, just
like a robot, like
the week is just there so you can have the weekend. So
which
like
is that, but then like when you think about how crazy that is, like that's 2/7 of your life you're enjoying. That's it.
That's what I mean. Like, my goal is to enjoy as much of my life as possible, in the sense that like obviously that's everyone's goal, but I should have probably narrowed that down. What I mean is like I want to enjoy my work. I don't want my work to be something that I have to escape from. So and I was thinking earlier, when it comes down to what we were saying earlier about, you know, having no ambition and being content with like a shit job. Well, it's not a shit job. That's the thing. It's you know, there are people who get a lot of enjoyment out of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so some people's I think everyone wants to like progress in life. Surely. Apart from the odd few, let's say realistically, everyone, they want to progress. You know what I mean? And I honestly think it just comes down to one of the big things. It's like, let's say mine and yours idea of progression is that, you know, for you, let's use you as an example. Obviously, school, McDonald's, and then your idea from when you were at McDonald's of progression is, you know, making money from your YouTube channel, and then from there, you know, getting 1 million subscribers and just keep going up and up.
Goals,
But I think a lot of people's idea of progression is, you know, maybe not McDonald's, but there are people with McDonald's, is get to a job and work your way up the ladder in that job.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They stop seeing possibilities outside of that job.
Yeah.
And I'm
Which
sure
is good for some people.
Yeah, exactly. Like at the end of the day, if you're happy, if you're inside, like you're happy and content working at Tesco's your whole life, you're better off than 90% of people who are fucking depressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's like my dad. He joined the bank. I think he was either 16 or 18, probably 18, and he's just sort of worked his way up. He's not like big banker bonus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at the top, but like he's like a business relationship manager or whatever, and there are like obviously bad days in a job like that, as there would be with it in a bank, because sounds boring, but like he's like worked his way up, and I think there are some people who like take enjoyment, and they like starting at the bottom, and they like the thought of over the years. I think maybe a lot of people go into it thinking it will happen a lot quicker than it will. But like even to me, the concept of starting at the bottom and working up is exciting. Yeah,
same. But you only have like 80 years on this fucking planet. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Sorry, mate. You were saying. Sorry.
No, that's that for some people that is good. But then there's like obviously the whole regret thing, because regret, I can imagine, be the worst. Like I wouldn't want to be.
Yeah.
Like there's members of my family, for instance, they're quite young. Like my uncle, he's like early 50s, but he's like quite ill, so he's not very mobile. And I don't want to. I'm very much on that side of the family, like genetically, certainly it looks at least. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm worried almost about like regretting the things I do now, because like when you get older, I can't imagine anything worse than looking back and thinking, I wish I did stuff like that. Like, turning back. You're actually trapped. Like the whole deterioration of your body and stuff is scary, because it's out of your control, and it can only get worse essentially as far as the long term goes. You're not just going to be old and wake up and be like young again. And that's I think don't want to regret.
Yeah, man, it's scary. And what's even scarier is the point is like, And I never even used to consider this an option, but as you grow up, you get a bit more realistic.
Yeah.
But a scary thought for me is like never actually, just getting to like 80 years old and just, you've done nothing. Like I achieved none of the goals that I was so certain I was going to achieve, and I can't. And I sit here saying that now. I'm like, don't be crazy. You'll achieve your goals. Like
exactly,
you've got loads of time. But I said that to myself when I was 15, 14, and I'm 19. I'm in the same exact fucking position as I was when I was 15. So years go by, man. Years fly by.
That's the thing. Yeah, I'm 20 a week today. That's mad. 20 years old. That's like the first big chunk. Like
that's
the
mad.
First quarter.
That's scary.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's. That's mad. That's fucking mad. Yeah, I'm 20 in July, so I've got a couple of months. So yeah,
that's fine. We'll put it off a few months.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it's crazy. Weird. It's scary. And as you get older, you start to realise like your life doesn't last forever. And we're only 20 and we're thinking about that. Imagine how that must feel when you hit 30 and 40. That's like, scary. When 10
you're
years till you're 30, bro.
Even 10 years old, that's mad. Let's not say that.
Like
when you're a kid, first of all, you don't think about death really as like a realistic thing that can happen to you. You might be like, you can think about like death in a video game, like a Pokemon dying or whatever. Like you know sort of about it, but you don't actually think about it. And you see like adults who are like 30, 40, and you're like, damn, they're hella old. But now, like if you're thinking that when you're like 5. We're like 15 years beyond that, and we are, like you said, 10 years away from 30, and that is technically young, and I'm starting to understand it when old people are like, 30's young. Before we'd be like, nah, that's hella old, but now I'm thinking, that's kind of young now that we're getting close to it, because I can imagine 20s just fly past, because that's when most things happen. I feel like
I think 20s is the most interesting time of your life.
Family and like children, that probably more likely late 20s, 30s, but like changes in your life from 20, because like if you think like where we're both at now to where we'll be at in 30 years, that'll be the biggest change. Like imagine where we could be at 30.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean, man. And it's I just don't want to fuck life up. Do you know what I mean? Like you literally get one shot, man, and it's scary. It's when you really think about it deep, when you really think about the situation that we've got, on this planet of ours. Like, it's mate.
It's so insignificant as well. That's the thing.
I don't even like thinking about it.
This little planet of ours and this one life we have, it is so irrelevant, isn't it? Like, that's almost like.
But then, like, is it? I don't know, because, like, it depends how you view, like, obviously, it depends if you're religious, or if what you believe in, or...
I saw this picture, it was just like a load of specks, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, this is the picture of the Earth from the furthest away it's ever been photographed, and it was like, how, like, there was, like, some kind of statement about, like, millions of people die for people fighting over control over a portion of this speck, and it puts it into perspective, and it's like... We are kind of irrelevant, like, and it's like, unless you do something big, like people talk about legacy and stuff, and I don't like, unless you are like William Shakespeare or whatever, 500 years from now, like good old William Shakespeare, GCSE English. I feel like if you want to leave a legacy, the best way to go through is something academic in that sense, because that stuff lasts. But like, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying for my life I want to leave behind a massive legacy that everyone like, worships me, like statues or anything. But I'd like to try and leave something. I'd like to try and leave something for like my family, like I'd like for someone in 100 years, 200 years to look at their great granddad on YouTube and think, oh, this is what it was like. I love that we have the tools to do that, because I'd really like to know more about my ancestors, I guess you could call it. But like, I hope that there is some sort of connection between us and future generations, because the idea that we just wiped off the existence of everything is pretty scary, and not scary like it freaks me out, but like it's just too much to really comprehend,
Yeah. I think I disagree with you that honestly on that front.
Really?
Yeah.
Which part?
About like leaving a legacy, like to me that means nothing to me, because at the end of the day, when you die, you're never going to know if people are looking back at you or if they're not. It's irrelevant to you. You know what I mean? You're dead. The only way leaving a legacy would have any meaning to yourself would be that if you could watch it, like
I suppose,
say you go to heaven and you look down and you see like, you know what, fucking my great grandchildren rate me. That's the only thing, like when you die, you're dead. So in my opinion, like leaving a legacy, obviously, if I had a button in front of me saying leave a legacy or don't leave a legacy, I'm obviously going to leave a legacy, but I wouldn't work to leave a legacy. In my opinion, for my life, I'm only 19 at the end of the day, so I don't have a fucking clue what I'm talking about.
10 years away from 30s, bro.
Yeah, there you go. To be fair, but like for me, the way I look at life and the way I sort of judge whether I'm succeeding or if you had a good life or a bad life, it's honestly just comes down to one thing, and that's like happiness.
Yeah,
I swear,
I agree with you on that.
Because at the end of the day, like that's the only thing we all strive for. At the end of the day, like obviously people say love as well, but that kind of relates to
everything.
Happiness.
Everything that you like makes you happy. Money,
exactly. It all comes down to happiness. So the way I look at it is the more. So say you think of happiness as, I almost think of it as like a let's say like a tank. Let's say like when it's at 100% is when you're at your most happy, and obviously when the tank's empty, you're at, you're fucking depressed. So the way I look at life is honestly, if I consider myself winning at life when I'm like 80 years old, it's like how much time of my life was I spent at a full tank? If that makes sense.
I agree with you on that one. Yeah. Because
if I look at the past 19 years. I've been pretty happy the past 19 years, so I have my regrets, and I feel like I'll be in a better space now if I, perhaps put some more hours into working before, but I've been happy, you know what I mean? Yeah. There's millionaires who, like, they don't have the same level as happiness as, like, I've probably got.
Especially people who are born with wealth. If you're born with, like, a trust fund of 100 million, like, you can be totally depressed.
I would hate that, because you're how do I put it? Your standards are set so high from the get-go that it's so hard to stay above that peak. So that's why people who are born in the worst possible conditions, they're probably, I mean, obviously, things can happen to you when you're a kid that do just affect you for the rest of your life. But putting aside all of that, let's say just for the sake of this argument, just talk about being born poor. So you could be then, let's say you spend the first 15 years of your life just poor like as fuck, like as poor as you can get, really. You've still got like water and shit, but you're poor. And then you get to 20 years old and you're on $2,000 a month. You'll be like, you're buzzing, obviously. Like your happiness, you're going to be at, let's say, for the argument's sake, you're at 100%. But then let's say you're someone who, started off, with, let's say, 10K, a month, for example. And then, so you're not, you don't respect money as much. You're used to having this sort of like, anything you want, whenever you want, doing all these things. And then let's say you give them a 2K salary, they're the exact same situation. It's just, it's the way people compare it to like the rest of their lives. And it's like, that's what I mean. So I feel like, honestly, the people who are poor, and then at the same time,
it's like the whole thing where like they say like,
there's a lot of people who are poor who then stay poor for the rest of their life. So
well, it's like the whole thing, like poor people envy the rich and rich people envy the poor. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Famous people wish.
I'd hate to win the lotto, for example, or I'd hate to just.
I can imagine that's quite demotivating in a way after the initial thing's worn off. Like,
let's say
you've got 200 million in the bank. Like,
what do you do? What do you have to work for then? Like, I wouldn't.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I like having things that are out of reach because I'm always then striving for something. But if I had everything, I don't take money from like my parents, for example. Let's say that I don't, because and it sounds dumb, and it is dumb, and it's so dumb. But let's say my dad's like, let's say I'm low on money, and my dad says, "Oh, do you want like 100 quid, for example?" 9 times out of 10, I tell him no, because I want to. How do I put it? If I get money from my dad, I'm not going to work, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I think I get what you're trying to say.
For me personally, this might not be for everyone, but for me personally, I need to like have things, like I said earlier, that are out of reach for me to actually get shit done.
Yeah.
If I have everything, if I won the lottery, mate, that would be the end of me. That would be so bad for me, man. So bad for me. I would fucking ruin my life, I think, if I'm on the lottery, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'd really fuck up.
Theory, it's like you think, I would love 100 million, but like, and you can do a lot of good with that, and I suppose it will be different for different people. Like, you can put, if you are that type of mindset where you can take all that money and like maybe invest it or build a business or something, that I can actually that'd be a bit different. You're like a massive starting step, like a bit of a helping hand. But I'm sure a lot of people, because when you look at the kind of people that buy sort of lottery tickets and stuff, they aren't the people that are grinding with their own business. They aren't the people that have those massive goals. They're the people who have a few quid spare, who just take a chance. I can't imagine they're the kind of people that would win it and put it to make more money, but like feel fulfilled doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I guess
that's very stereotypical of me. If you buy lottery tickets, I'm not saying you're unemployed and all that, but
yeah, no, we're not making any sort of stereotypical we're not making any assumptions on anyone. Just saying like theoretically, like speaking. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's exactly it. And then people do ruin their lives. People who do win the lottery, it's known to like ruin lives. And I just. It goes back to what we were saying earlier. If I had a button at the end of the day saying 100k or not, I'm gonna go for the money. But
exactly.
But I just hope. I honestly, and I don't want to say this because be careful what you wish for. And I want money, so I don't want to say I don't want money. But you know what I mean? Like I don't. I just hope that I don't end up in a situation where I just get a crazy amount of money that I didn't earn or work for. Because I wouldn't even feel content, mate. Like I need to be proud of what I've done. If that makes sense. If I had a lot of money and I didn't have anything to show for it. I can't imagine I'd be that happy personally. Yeah. I wanna have a lot of money and be able to look back and say I earned that. Like I was in a position where I had the money and now I have money and I worked for it. No one can say shit. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I worked it. I'm content. I'm happy. That's my idea of like my perfect being in my 60s.
Exactly.
That's how I imagine myself being happy in my 60s, for example.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think in regards to when you said like you disagree about the whole legacy thing, I think like not necessarily for like my sake. I get the whole like not being able to see it essentially unless you believe like if you believe in the afterlife, whatever. I mean that would be the sickest situation if there's like heaven or whatever. You go there and you see all that going down. Like that'd be sick. But I think generally for completely taking myself out the picture. I think I can, because I know how much I'd appreciate if I had some kind of connection with one of my ancestors. I think if I could provide that, or know that I could provide that for someone related to me who I'm never going to meet, that would make me happy. Yeah, like although there is literally no difference to me. Let's say we go on the basis that I die and that's it, it makes no difference to me whether I leave behind something for them. But I think if I'm thinking how much I would have valued that, like if I saw a letter from someone that I was related to from like 200 years ago, that'd be sick. So like I'd happily like provide that for someone even if it's not going to affect me,
Yeah, but that makes you happy. Like the idea of doing that makes you happy.
Exactly.
So then it just boils down to what I was saying. Like you just live for happiness. Yeah,
that
would make you happy, but it wasn't really too much for me. I don't feel like. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool if I was able to do that. Then yeah, but I don't. Legacy isn't something that even I really consider. Like, I don't know why, because it is. Well, yeah, I do know why, because it doesn't really fucking matter. I
suppose it depends how you look at it. If it is like massive, like if you think of like massive legacy, so that almost you can live on forever, then that's totally different, because like it's kind of like that new Disney film. I think it's called Coco. You probably haven't seen it, but like, do you know the concept at all? Or no?
I haven't even heard of it. No.
So like basically,
Coco.
It's like they're like. Disney Pixar, they've like gone under the ocean, they've gone in the jungle, they've gone everywhere, but they've not gone to the afterlife. So this film, which surprised me at first, but like it's like obviously it's like cartooned up in a Disney sort of way, so it's not disturbing or whatever.
You see,
but like I haven't seen it, but this is what I've gathered from the trailer.
Okay.
And basically, when you die, obviously they go to this other world, and then as soon as the last person who remembers you in the real world is dead, so like no one in the real world.
You die in the other world.
You die in the other world, yeah. So like that's
kind of scary. That's quite a good idea. I like that.
It sounds interesting. Like
yeah, it does.
And if I don't know where I was going with that. I can't remember why I brought it up, but like I think if you're trying to maintain the memory of you for eternity, almost like as if to stay in that world if that existed.
Yeah, I get what you mean. And if
like,
that was
I'm
the
not
case,
gonna grind to work for that, but I think it'd just be cool to like know that, or even not know that, some future like people would take like enjoyment or inspiration out of what we did. So
I get that. Yeah, no, I do get that. I don't know. Yeah, this film's got fucking good ratings, by the way, mate.
Really?
Yeah, really good ratings. Yeah, I might have to give that a go. Cartoons are good, man. Animations are good. I swear to God.
97% on the Rotten
mate,
Tomatoes.
97%. 5 out of 5 by Empire, and 8.5 out of 10. And IMDb are horrific. Like, they're so harsh. They're so harsh. But, so 8.5 out of 10.
744 million already.
Mate, it's still in the cinema. What?
Yeah. It came out in the UK recently-ish, because the initial release in October was only in Mexico.
In 2017, it said it was released.
Yeah, that was the first release
October.
In Mexico, yeah. But in the UK, I think it's very, very recent. It might even been this month.
Wow. I honestly will probably go watch that.
No, it this month. It was January, but still.
Still, came out. Yeah, fair enough. Nah, man. Like, cartoons and animation, I don't give a fuck what anyone says, man. They're good.
They're so good. Especially Disney Pixar have a way, like a creativity that's like, I feel unmatched. DreamWorks, like, DreamWorks, like Shrek, B-movie, Kung Fu Panda. Now that you've said it,
I know, yeah. I wouldn't have known that beforehand.
Oh, Kung Fu
Panda's a hard film. Yeah, that's a hard film. I like that film.
I had like my first proper kiss at a Kung Fu Panda film.
You had your first proper kiss at a Kung Fu Panda film.
Yeah.
Really?
And here's what happened. So like I kissed I think a couple of girls like when I was like 8 or whatever.
Fucking go on, man.
It doesn't like really count. I say a couple. It might have only been one. Two. I think that I can remember. But either way, this was like my first proper sort of relationship. I was 12. The film ended. I think I might have been 13 actually. But yeah, the film ended. I remember I didn't go in. It wasn't. When you big up your first kiss in your brain, you're like how romantic it's gonna be. You're gonna look at them.
Yeah.
I literally, oh god. Okay, so the film ended. It was Kung Fu Panda 2, and it was in my head. When you're thinking about like a kiss or whatever.
Yeah,
I was thinking because when you're 13, 12, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
when you're in a relationship, for instance, it's just a kiss, which is great, but still, this is bigged up. And I didn't like lean in. I wasn't smooth. Obviously, I wasn't a smooth guy. You remember me, little Gibby in year 8. It wasn't.
Oh man, I don't think anyone's smooth for their first kiss. I was a disaster, man.
I looked at her and went. In such a sheepish way, I said, "Can I have a kiss?" It was like.
Were you Gibby at that point?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah. I can picture it all. It's beautiful. That's crazy.
Not beautiful. Like.
Oh man, that's funny.
But yeah, going back to what you said, like, oh yeah, that's just awkward.
That's amazing.
Some people might be like, oh, that's cute, but it's not. When you big yourself up as this Casanova who can woo somebody, and they just ask for it, it's like if you do that, like, imagine
doing that now.
That's what I'm thinking. Imagine in a club or like, can I have a kid? Like you've got to just try and like do it with the eyes now. That's what you have to do, or you have to give those signals. Yeah,
the whole, exactly. Like, it's all body language.
Look at both their eyes. Look at their nose.
Yeah,
do
exactly.
All that, and then just sort of like lean in a little bit and see if they reciprocate. Whereas back then it's like I'm not emotionally in tune with myself. I don't know what's going on with my body.
Yeah,
I'll just ask for it. I'll just straight up ask.
Yeah, it's fair play, mate. Straight to the fucking point. I think.
But it wasn't like enjoyable though. That's the thing. It was just.
Oh yeah, no.
It was like a kiss,
My first kiss was in a what's it called? It was in a park, but I the park. It's Alexandra Park. Yeah. Fucking, I mean, I'm going nowhere with this. I'm just literally letting like my first kiss was in a park on one of those like spinny mate. What are they called? Like the triangle net thing that spins. They're in a few parks. They're not really like a sort of iconic park thing, but a few parks have them, and they're fun.
Triangle that spins,
like a cone that spins that has like netting, like ropes. You can climb to the top if you want. And you can.
Oh right, they're like pyramids.
Yeah. One of those fuckers. Yeah.
Okay, it was on one of those, was it? A bit of Tarzan action.
Bit of Tarzan action, mate. Me gave it the big spin as well halfway through.
Wait, what?
No, I didn't. I'm joking, mate. Fucking, I was shitting myself. I was like shaking, mate. Oh my god.
How did that go down? Did you ask? Did it happen?
No. So it was after school. Can't remember what year. What year was it?
So was it secondary?
It was late, mate. It was late. I think it was year. Yeah. No, it was St. Edward's. Yeah. No, I didn't have my first kiss till I was. I think it was either year 9 or 10, mate.
Okay.
It might have been year 9. I'm not sure. It was one of the others. I can't remember. Yeah. And yeah. That's it. Went to the park. What was I saying before that?
So I was trying to like, how did it happen? Did you just do it?
Oh yeah, how did it happen? Yeah. Yeah, mate, I swear, like it. So we were there talking. We were both sitting on this thing, on that cone thing. We were talking for a while, and the whole time I was like, because you want to do it the whole time. Your first kiss, like you don't just think, right, I'm going for my first kiss, and you do it. It takes hours of preparation.
Oh yeah, like, the whole Kung Fu Panda 2, I was thinking about it. Like,
yeah, exactly. The whole time I was with her, I was thinking about it, and I was there on the cone, and I was like, shit, like. So then there was, honestly, before I had my first kiss, mate, there was about 9 or 10 moments where. In any of us, if it wasn't for my first kiss, it would have been a kiss.
Yeah.
But I was just scatting out, and she was the exact same as me. It wasn't her first kiss, but she was like scatting out as well, obviously. So you could tell because we were both like lock eyes, and then maybe
then you think about it.
I think about it too much, and I'm like, so yeah, today was good, wasn't it? Like, I don't carry on the conversation, then pull back. I kept doing that so much, man, and then like she'd do it once or twice, and then I ended up just fucking headbutting, and then just going straight in.
No announcer, you just went straight in.
No, obviously, like, it was, we finished talking, looked at each other for a bit, and then I just went in, yeah. And I'd love to see a video of it or something, or just know how bad it was, because I'd love to see how bad I was. I was obviously awful. I was so bad. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Bless my little self.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. Well, as I was saying earlier with that Coco animation film, just want to come back to it. One film that I saw, because I used to think, like, my whole life, I never really grew up on like Disney or anything like that. I swear I haven't really seen many Disney films or anything like that.
Video cassettes, dude. Oh, it was so good.
No, I never grew up on stuff like that. I don't even know what I grew up on, really. I don't really like Drake and Josh and shit, honestly. That's honestly what I used to watch, man.
Did you ever watch Disney Channel, like, at all?
Never, really? ever. Never touched it, mate. Disney Channel,
good.
CBBC or CBBS, anything like that.
I never the CBBC.
I never touched that shit. It was always Nickelodeon, mate, and it was always Drake and Josh, iCarly, Victorious.
SpongeBob?
Yeah. SpongeBob was hard.
I got to SpongeBob
anything
really
on Nickelodeon,
late.
really.
When I was like 10, 11, I got into like Drake and Josh, because before that it was like
Drake and Josh is so good, man.
It was
my god.
That's So Raven, Phil of the Future,
Kenan
Lizzie
and Kel.
McGuire.
Did you ever watch Kenan and Kel?
No.
What? That's mad. I don't even know what program it was on, but it was a big part of my childhood as well. Holy shit, Kenan and Kel's the best show. I don't know. No. Nah, Drake and I gotta get that
Drake and Josh. Is solid.
Drake and Josh is so good, man. But Kenan and Kel
I'll go back and watch that. Like,
fully. That's what I've been doing the past couple of days. I've been smashing it on Amazon. But I'm about to buy the other episodes. I don't give a fuck. Like, they're like £1, I think, an episode. I think I'm gonna do it because there's some classics, mate. There's some classic episodes I missed from fucking Drake and Josh.
I don't even know why. Like,
beautiful.
It's such a simple concept, but it's so. Like,
it's
the way
Josh,
they work
man.
together, it's so,
Josh.
He was my favourite.
Mate, when season 1 and 2, like, holy shit, I don't think you could find a funnier character. Like, oh man, it's the emphasis.
He just is that kind of character where he, he's like, I say things twice for emphasis.
Oh,
emphasis.
Yeah, mate, that's the one with Drew and Jerry, is it?
When they have like they're like doubles almost, and they start hanging out and replacing each other,
and then they have their own show at the end. I watched that the other day, actually. Yeah,
that was kind of funny. Yeah, the way they like parody themselves.
That one,
yeah. If you guys watching and like either haven't watched Drake and Josh or maybe too young to either know what it is or really look at it, you need to do it. Like,
man.
There are probably people watching this like when they think of Josh Peck, they think of the like slim, famous guy that he is now, not the guy back there.
He's good looking now, man.
Yeah,
he's a really good looking guy now.
He's got it bits, all together. I was watching Big Bang Theory the other day.
Okay, he's quite good looking. He's not really good looking.
And he just like popped up and he was in it.
He's in Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. He owned a rival comic book store on one of the episodes. Like, he's not like a recurring character, but like Big Bang Theory is huge. Like, have you heard the wages the main people get?
No, but
when I last heard, it was for the men primarily. It was $1 million per 20-minute episode, like minimum.
Say again? What?
Yeah. That's right.
No, literally say that again.
$1 million per 20-minute episode.
Holy fuck!
Like, it says
shit.
It says since that time, the girl who plays Penny, the one who plays Sheldon, Leonard, Howard, and Raj have been earning about $1 million per episode. And then,
that's insane.
I tell you what's super cool though is that those like the main four, and then there's the other two like female characters, and they were earning like quite a bit less, like maybe $500,000. I think the four people at the top, they decided to give almost sort of pull together and give some of their earnings to the women, sort of make it a bit more equal.
Whoa,
so that's
really?
pretty cool, isn't it?
Play,
yeah. But like the TV actors in America.
Smart,
America.
Man.
Let me just look it up because.
Do you like it?
I love
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I do.
It is the worst, mate. It is the worst. It's so unfunny. I swear.
I love it. It's clever.
Maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance, but like I watched, I think probably 3 episodes. I was just like, this is honestly. the least funny thing I've ever seen. I can't believe people cry about this.
Oh, nice. I like it a lot. Oh my gosh, what?
Dude, Drake Bell's ugly now.
Dude, I've just looked at the for Forbes. You know, Forbes is like the main.
Yeah. Like it's business, isn't it? Like
it's like like earnings and stuff. And I don't know who this person is. I'm just gonna have to Google it. But the full for last year. So who's this person? I have no idea who that is. So it's like she does television, some country that we don't speak the language of. But number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the highest earners are all Big Bang Theory, and they're all earning 25 million plus a year.
Wow.
Just for these TV shows.
Is that out of all TV shows, or what's that out of?
That's all TV shows, and it's all the Big Bang Theory, like the top earners. Like it's
mate, how does that show make so much money, mate?
It's good. It's
there's
good.
more unfunny people than there are funny people on this planet, mate. Apparently, that is mad.
That's the thing. Wages.
It's crazy how subjective humor is.
But they are deserved because they bring in the viewers and stuff.
Oh no, yeah, I will never ever say it's undeserved.
So many people don't seem to understand that.
No matter how you're doing it, it's deserved. Like that's ultimately, if you're getting the views, doesn't matter how, way. If you're able to get traffic, you deserve the money you'll get for getting that traffic.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And people are saying, they're overpaid. But when billions or like hundreds of millions watch The Big Bang Theory,
you got to understand
it's completely justified because they have that money to pay them. Like,
but you need to understand like why they're getting paid that. It's not that some fucking. Most people that complain about all these like YouTubers, not even YouTubers, but like people like the Big Bang cast, for example, the people that complain about that, they don't. What's that?
Yeah, they think they're unfunny and don't.
Oh no, they are. They're the worst. But I'm just saying, like for example, the people who do get angry at stuff like that, the amount of people make for getting these views in. I think a lot of them don't even understand why they get that money because. Yeah. And they don't understand how marketing works or advertising works. And it's all just to do with advertising. If you can get 1 million people to come by your YouTube channel, for example, every once a week even, let's say, then you deserve whatever an advertiser would pay to have 1 million people look at their advert.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
No matter what content it is. That's the thing.
Like,
people seem to think that they're paid for what they do in the video, but then they could do whatever in the video. You're paid for and that's why a lot of people argue that YouTubers are actually underpaid because, like, say PewDiePie, he's got 10 billion views overall. The amount of money it would cost to pay for 10 billion people to see something on TV is like 100 times more than it is on YouTube. So, like, realistically, yes, they earn millions, but like, it's. I mean, we've spoken about this loads of times, but it's so deserved. Like,
of course, more than 100 million%.
But like it's like with footballers and stuff, like they get paid more than just to play football. They get paid for ticket sales, people who view it, merchandise sales, all of that stuff. And that's just not what you see on the outside, is it? You just think about getting paid to kick a ball in the net, but it's
everything to do like online and making money like that. It's all to do with advertisement. You see those a lot of you who probably don't understand the concept of this. If you think of it like, I'm sure you guys have seen those articles or those links that say like top 10. I'm trying to think of something. For example, top 10 games of 2017, for example, and then each time, so like it will have like number 1, and then you got to go next page to see number 2. The reason they're doing that is because
10 times the ads.
Yeah, exactly.
It's annoying. It's so annoying.
But a lot of kids probably look at that and they're like, yeah, this is annoying. But they don't understand why it's happening or
why the way it is.
They just think, so that's the person whoever created this website. That's the way they want to do it. They want you to continue. It's not that. It's that every time you click next page, you're loading up a whole new fucking page of ads, and that counts as another view because you're technically refreshing the website in a sense. It all comes down to that. Everyone's trying to generate traffic. Everyone who wants to make money online, obviously, bar some cases, it all comes down to just generating traffic. So
it's so weird though, isn't it? Because like advertisers pay for them to be like advertised to make more money themselves. So it's weird how that's actually profitable in a way. Like how
it's
the
mad,
money you spend can translate to more money for you, and how that can therefore keep going because everyone wants to make money. But the only reason they're paying for ads is to make money. It's just
obviously if they were making money, they wouldn't do it. But I think a lot of it's not direct. I've been thinking about it recently because you look at how much an advertiser or a company will pay to, advertise their product or their company, And then I think about like they've spent thousands upon like millions, obviously in a lot of cases, but let's just say like thousands upon thousands. And I for like, you know, maybe couple hundred thousand people to expose your product to. Yeah. And I think like, how does that correlate? How does that make profit?
How does that get profit? Exactly.
But then obviously I thought about it more. Like, it can't be directly. It's just because a lot of times the Grammarly is a big one. That helped me came to terms with how this all works. If I think about Grammarly, I almost got it the other day. When I say the other day, it's a couple of months ago. It's when I was at uni. Obviously, I don't need that shit now. But like, I would have needed Grammarly in uni, and I almost got it. And I've been looking at Grammarly adverts for months, man, years actually. I think. And every time I look at it, I'm like, can you fuck off? I'm never gonna get this. I don't care. But if you keep ramming something down someone's throat, man, if you keep showing them it creates almost a brand loyalty. If that makes sense. It's like you start to trust them even though you've never talked or bought from them or anything like that, because you see them around so much. It's
like Wix, that Wix website advert.
Wix, exactly. You get comfortable with these names, and then for example, an advertisement might not turn into a sale for like 10 years for someone, for example. So
that's the thing. I was watching this show. Have you heard of Hustle?
No.
It's basically these people that con other people, that like basically like rich people who do bad things, like steal money or whatever, like that sort of thing. And one of them, they had to convince their mark that they were like a reputable brand that could do business with them to eventually scam them, basically.
That's convince their mark.
The mark, like the person they're trying to con.
Okay, yeah.
And in a way to do that, for like months up to that, they would like they'd see where the mark was. Like they'd put this fake business logo on vans, drive past it. They'd have someone walk past and mention the name in conversation, just to subconsciously. Cool. And then when they introduced the brand, he was like, "Oh yeah, I think I've heard of you." Like it is sort of like that. Like if it is just out there and everywhere, like you see billboards. Like realistically, no one sees a billboard and really takes a lot of action. But if you see the same billboard, if you see the same message, like you said, it actually
you don't even have to see it. That's
it's in your head, you know.
Yeah, like you have to see it. It has to be there. It has to be in your peripheral of some sort. But you don't have to consciously.
You don't have to actually
acknowledge it. Have you seen the film Focus?
No, I haven't.
Will Smith and Margot Robbie.
No,
really good. It's not really good. It's a good film, pretty good film.
Decent,
but it's there's one scene where it's probably one of the best scenes in the film, to be honest, where Will Smith and Margot Robbie are I think. I haven't seen this film in a long time, but basically they're at this they're watching a football game, American football game,
right?
And Will Smith is this Chinese guy, I think he's Chinese, who's like rich as fuck, and he's putting bets left, right, and center, and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think of what I'm saying, and then Will Smith goes up to him and he's like, "I bet you 100K or something like that I can guess which football player you're thinking of," and there's like, let's say for argument's sake, 20 people on the pitch. They've all got like a number, so you got like, you know, like English football, you have like numbers on the back. And he was basically, Will Smith was basically saying to this guy, like, "I'll bet you 100K that I can guess which player by their number you're gonna choose."
Yeah.
And he says, in fact, to make it even more to increase the incentive for you to do this bet, I'll let her pick Margot Robbie. So basically it gets to the point they're both standing there, he's deciding who he's going to pick, and she hasn't got a fucking clue. And so basically it turns out, after it all happens and he's explaining how they did it, it's like weeks before, it's literally what you said, like weeks before months before, him and his team, they were conditioning him, so they were like driving past with, you know, like you said, I think the number was like 42. And they were putting the number 42 everywhere, and they were following him. So like this was all planned. So then when he made the bet with him, he knew he was going to pick 40. Obviously, realistically, you probably want to bet 100K on him, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's got to be studies. There has to be studies on how the mind works and like on that sort of stuff.
Well, subliminal marketing is a thing. Like it's always been a thing. I was obsessed with this when I was a kid, because you know how I told you in the previous podcast. Just subliminal messages and, you know, conspiracies and all that kind of stuff. Right, you know how I told you I was like obsessed with that when I was a kid. I was obsessed with subliminal messages, man. Have you seen those videos, mate, on YouTube? Those subliminal message videos. You have to have. So it'll be like a 10-minute compilation of subliminal, just showing you things that you didn't see ever before, like subliminal subliminal messages and like mainstream adverts, stuff like that. Mate, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I wish we could watch it now and then somehow integrate that with the podcast, but obviously we can't. But you have to, mate. Like, jot it down right now, because it's gonna blow your mind. There's so much subliminal messaging in like mainstream adverts or just mainstream media in general. Because, like you said earlier, you can really fucking, give people ideas, create ideas, just by putting things that people don't even realise they're seeing. There's a few good examples that I have in my head, but I can't, like, they're on the tip of my tongue. But man,
if I click subliminal messages and advertising, click images, like, it's
a lot of it's sexual.
That's what I'm seeing, like, a lot.
A lot of it is, a lot of it's sexual, and I think this is like, I think maybe you get a bit into conspiracy. So I don't know if this is a conspiracy or if it's true. I don't know.
What's that?
About subliminal marketing being sexual and why it's sexual and stuff like that, and it's like to poison the minds of kids or shit like that. I don't know. But I think sex sells, doesn't it? Like that's
100%.
Everyone says sex sells, so I feel like it can't.
Have you seen the Burger King adverts?
I've seen all of them, mate. I was obsessed with this when I was a kid. For those of you who are listening, just have a look. Just like, I'm sure a lot of you have, but just look at, like, go on YouTube and just type in subliminal advertising and just watch like a compilation of all these different. Your mind will be blown. It's insane. You can only get so much. You can only get so much from these pictures, dude. But when you watch the videos, trust me, it's when I say it's a conspiracy, it's not. Like, it's a thing. They do it on purpose. I just don't know why. It's
almost like it seems perhaps more trouble than it's worth, but I don't know.
Yeah, man. But I'm talking about
but I guess you talking
like
about
Mickey Mouse and shit, mate. Like, really, just things for kids, man. Who
a lot of Disney stuff actually I've seen, like, in the past, like, hidden.
There's a dick. Hold on a sec. There's a dick in, like, in a Disney photo. Wait a sec. Some people advertising Dick Disney. I don't feel comfortable typing in Dick Disney, but we'll see what it comes up with. Yeah, this is it here. This is it. This is a bit fucked. Wait.
Well, I've seen the one in The Lion King, the Lion King movie poster, and the face of, like, Mufasa in the clouds is literally like an outline of, like, a naked woman or something.
Yeah, exactly, man. Crazy shit like that.
And you don't see it when you first look at it, especially as a kid. Like, it's like almost like kind of like some of the jokes in, like, kid shows, like SpongeBob, for instance. There's a lot of jokes in there that I didn't get the first time round, but when I'm older and I watch, I'm like, oh, like, kids just don't understand it. It's like straight over their heads. But adults watching, or like, that's like, I know it's not quite the same thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but that's like yeah.
But that's crazy. The amount of times I've listened to, like, a kid show and there's clearly some, like, innuendo in there. I think that's just completely. To make it bearable for adults. Like,
probably, it makes it more enjoyable. Like, when I went to go watch and this comes back to what I was trying to say earlier when you were talking about Coco, and I was saying how, like, cartoons are actually good, and I used to think they were just all, for kids, and I hit a certain age I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna bother. But I when cartoons come out, I get excited now. I went to go see Paddington 2 with I took my baby cousins to go see it, and I definitely enjoyed that film more than them, like 100%, mate. I was like, they make you feel good, you know what I mean? I think that's the 100%. Biggest thing about it. They're innocent, so there's no bullshit, there's no, like, swearing or gore or anything that's gonna make you. I'm not that swearing or gore makes me uncomfortable, but you know what I mean? You just feel clean and innocent and happy and life's good. I don't know, something about them, man. Paddington 2 was a sick film.
Mate,
I really enjoyed that. I haven't even seen the first one, but I'm gonna.
The Incredibles 2. Very soon.
Oh,
been waiting so long.
I'm gonna smash that film, mate.
Have you seen the quality of it? Like, the graphics, they look so realistic. It's in a cartoony way, but the improvement, obviously, because, I mean, come on, it's been 14 years, but still, that was always one of my favorites. I think I used to know that film off by heart, or at least very close to. Like, I watched it so much. I completed the PlayStation 2 games multiple times.
They were sick. They were so good.
I speed ran the game in, like, 3 hours once.
You're mad. I don't think I did it that much, but
oh, mate. Oh, it's one of, like, there's so many, like, iconic moments in it as well. Like, the whole meme of, like, the "Where's my super suit" thing. I'm glad that came back, because, like, that was always hilarious.
Where's my super suit? What?
Like, when he's like, "Honey, where's my super suit?" And then yeah. And that's
I didn't even clock that in the trailer. I completely forgot that was in the first one.
There was another, like, a thing in there like I didn't understand when I was a kid when he was like, we're talking about the greater good, and she's like, greater good? I'm your wife. I'm the greatest good you are ever gonna get. I didn't. That just like straight over my head as a kid, and then I watched him like, oh, she's makes sense.
I just got that. Damn. Okay, I'm 19 and I just clocked onto that.
Wait, you just got it right now?
Just now. I swear.
I thought you were giving it the large one to help my point.
Oh, no. That is typical of me as well. You're very right to assume me doing that.
Like sarcastically, here we go.
Yeah, no, I genuinely just
clocked.
But no,
yeah.
Like, okay,
genuinely
the
like the greatest. See, there's yeah.
I'll tell you what I haven't seen.
Incredibles 2.
Yeah, man, The Incredibles 2 is... I'm buzzing for that. I am so crazy excited for that film, man. Yeah. So excited. I've been waiting for that for years, man.
And it's because it follows on. The first one ended with, like, the biggest cliffhanger.
That's what I mean. That's what's so fucked up about it.
Yeah,
it's not like it's in the air. Like, there has to be a second one. There can't not be.
Yeah, they were also totally unrelated as well. That like to be fair, in the game on the PS2, it addressed the whole Underminer thing.
Yeah.
But
oh my
like
god,
as
that game
a film,
was so good. Oh my god,
that's the game that I completed over and over again. And everyone would be like, "Did you play like the 2-player one? If you play with someone, like I'd always do it with my brother. I was like, yeah, I would have
played that alone, definitely.
Oh mate, I played it with my brother. I was like, I want to be Frozone. He's got the cool powers. Mr. Incredible is strong and throws stuff. But like,
I think
it might be a different game, but like,
wait, how many Incredibles games are there?
There's probably a few, to be honest.
The Incredibles game.
But like the film, that's the biggest cliffhanger and random cliffhanger of like a Disney film.
Yeah, man, some fucker just comes out of nowhere.
Except although Kung Fu Panda, do you remember the cliffhanger on the second one?
Wait, we've got to be careful with spoilers. That's the only thing. We can save them. But let's say, right, okay. Don't shit yourself, lads. We won't fuck you over.
If you haven't seen like Kung Fu Panda 3, then just miss this. And if The Incredibles, well, you must have seen that, and by now we've probably ruined it for you. But so like The Incredibles, he just like
The Incredible. I think you can just you probably just talk about them. They're years old. I don't know actually. There's a lot of films. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because there's a lot of times I've listened to podcasts and they start talking about films or stuff like that, and I always have to skip forwards. Like someone, I almost had Fight Club ruined for me. Like, have you ever seen Fight Club?
I think I've seen bits of it of like film studies, but not like properly.
Yeah, sick film. But like I almost had that ruined for me one time. I was like, oh, so yeah, we're not gonna. We'll give you spoiler warnings in advance. So
mate, that reminds me of English and like of Mice and Men. Not gonna spoil that because I'm sure some of you are yet to find the ending of that.
Surely everyone's seen Mice and Men. You're forced to watch it. You can't be. Well, actually,
if you're 12 though, you know what I mean. Like, don't talk to anyone about Of Mice and Men at school because they will ruin it for you.
What a great fucking. But story, like, I don't know. The book was hard.
At the end. Okay, so spoilers. Leave if you don't want to know about Kung Fu Panda 3. But the end of Kung Fu Panda 2.
the whole
first two films. Do you mind if I?
No, I've seen one of them or two of them. I can't remember. No, I don't care at all. Go.
Okay, so like the whole film, like. His dad is a goose, like, and it's like, well, what is? And the whole like second and third film, he's trying to find his real parents in his real life, right?
See, I don't even remember this.
And in the second film, you're led to believe that all the pandas, apart from him, were like eradicated. And then at the end of the second film, it's just a shot of like his dad saying, "My son's alive," and you're like left, and you're like, "Wait, he has a dad?" And the whole third film is the whole dad thing.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, what? And so like before the third one came out, I was like, wait, you can't just leave me there. And then the first kiss happened, and well, you know. But realistically, I was thinking about.
I forgot they were even combined.
It all comes back. It comes full circle. But like, speaking about The Incredibles, that cliffhanger was massive and completely unexplained. Like, who is this guy? Why is he there? This isn't relevant.
And how long was there between 2 and 3?
For Kung Fu Panda, it's probably only like a couple years, but this is a 14-year.
Oh, The Incredibles you're on about.
Yeah, The Incredibles. Yeah.
That's a joke, man. And I remember being a kid and genuinely being annoyed. I was like, where the fuck? What's happening?
Do you think they always intended to make 2, or were they just leaving some kind of dodgy cliffhanger? Because why would they wait 14 years if they were intending to?
Mate, I'm sorry. There's cliffhangers, and then there's the end of The Incredibles, mate. You don't just bring out a completely new enemy, a completely new storyline, and then end it like that. My head was gone when I first watched that, mate. I was waiting for the next year. I was like, yep, no. Can't wait for part 2, and it just never came around, and then you just sort of forget about it. But I don't know, it's such a classic film, man. The Incredibles is such a good film.
Let's see when officially.
I need to rewatch that shit.
Okay, yeah, it was 2004. The Incredibles came out, and then so 14 years. We were.
That's insane.
That's was
insane.
6. We were 6 when it first came out.
I don't know when I watched it. I would have been like probably like 9, 8. Maybe even I watched it when it came out. Oh, did I see it in the cinema? Oh. I don't know. When did I see this fucking film? It might have been the cinema. Well, when did Finding Nemo come out? Because I saw that in the cinema.
That was 2003.
And Incredibles came out when?
2004. Oh, I could be wrong.
I would have seen it in the cinema then. Yeah, I would have. Because I saw Finding Nemo in the cinema, and you know the big shark. When he came, my best friend at the time started crying, so we had to leave. I remember that. Although I can't talk. I used to be, for some reason, man, when I was a kid, I used to be terrified of gunshots. And it wasn't even... I think I got scarred when I was... Have you seen... What's the film? With Arnold Schwarzenegger in the kindergarten. Kindergarten Cop, is that it?
No idea.
Garten Cop. Let me see before I say it. Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Again, spoilers. It's not really spoilers. I don't know. I don't know if it's a film or not. But anyway, I came into the lounge. My dad and uncle, mate, I was young. When did this film come out? I need to find this out quickly. Kindergarten Cop.
It's where someone joins the podcast a few minutes later. They don't want to hear the spoilers for Kung Fu Panda. They come back. They're just about to watch this Kindergarten Cop thing, and you just give it the big spoilers. Dies
like just coming straight on the fucking punchline. But it came out in 1st of February 1991. So it
came out when? You cut out for me. I know the podcast.
It came out in 1991. So it could have been any time, but I was very, very young, way too young to see what I saw anyway. And I came in, and it was the scene. Again, spoilers. If you care about this film, it's old as fuck anyway. And I'm pretty sure it's not even that good. I can't remember.
If you haven't heard of it by now, you're probably never going to watch it, so it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. Kindergarten Cop, like it is what it is. But there's a scene where I'm not going to say who it is because it's not really a spoiler. But there's a scene where this guy's getting shot. And like he's leant up against, like, from what I remember, I haven't seen this in years, but this is sort of stuck in my mind like forever. He's like leant up against the wall, and this like woman or guy is like shoots him once, and then walks a bit closer, shoots him again, basically killing him slowly, man. Like it's kind of fucked up. And I was young, man, very young. I can't remember, but I basically I was in shock when I saw it. Yeah. And I like started crying. I couldn't get it out of my head, and I couldn't sleep, and it was fucked up. And then from that point onwards, gunshots, just the noise. I didn't even have to see it. Just that noise of a gun, like a pistol going off, would just ruin me.
So what happened from that point to Modern Warfare 2 then? How did that happen?
Oh yeah.
What made you think this is a good idea?
I think it was GTA actually when it started getting mad.
Okay, yeah.
But I just hit a certain age. My dad was always like, you know, like, get the fuck over it, basically. Like, because I went to the, not in a harsh way, like, in a, you know, he was, because it did get a bit ridiculous.
You need to see this kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I was getting to the age where I really shouldn't be scared of gunshots, if that makes sense. I think it wasn't any older than, like, 10, but it was, you know.
Enough to mess you up, especially if it's, like, in a sadistic way, like it was, like it sounds anyway.
In that scene, yeah, it fucked me up, definitely. I don't know, it fucked me up. It made me very scared of gunshots, and gunshots were always those things that shit me up. But this goes full circle to what I was saying about when I had to walk out of Finding Nemo in the cinema because my mate was crying. So I was watching, I don't know if you've seen Epic Movie.
Epic, maybe?
Have you not seen Epic Movie?
I don't know. Wait. Epic. It sounds very familiar.
Oh my god, the ratings! Holy fuck! People don't like this film.
Oh, 2%.
Oh my god, dude, this film was hard.
2%.
I remember this film being awesome.
To be fair, some of the low-rated films are pretty sick, but I've not seen this.
It's basically, it just takes the piss out of all these like mainstream films.
Yeah, okay.
Have you seen Disaster Movie? It's basically that.
No,
but Disaster Movie is like a sort of, not a remake, but like
the
same idea.
1 star IMDb.
Yeah. I need to rewatch that. Maybe it is trash. I remember it being an awesome film, though.
Trash can be enjoyable, though. Like, it is so
well, at the end of the day, it's subjective. If you get enjoyment out of it, you get enjoyment out of it. Like, but it's... I don't know, because the whole idea of the film is it's my kind of film because it's just taking the piss completely for 2 hours. But the acting's, like... bad, but it's good because it's you know what I mean? So maybe
that's the whole parody idea. But like, the thing is, you see these movies, like you see obviously big movies, they have like $100 million plus $200 million budgets, but like when you think, like you look at that and you think, oh, 2% out of 100% of Rotten Tomatoes, that's terrible. But when you think it had a budget of 20 million and box office to 87 million, that's just That's just good, isn't it? No matter how bad it is, that's just good, you know? Like, I'd be so happy with that, obviously.
I cannot believe those ratings are that bad. Epic Movie was like a iconic film of my childhood. I've watched that film like 20 plus times.
I might have to see if that's like on Netflix or something.
Mate, no, it's not on Netflix, otherwise I would have watched it more. But yeah, definitely watch it, man. Obviously, I feel bad recommending it now because apparently it's the worst of all time. But it's a good film, mate. From what I remember, it's a sick film. It's fucked up though. It's a fucked up film. Yeah. Like, I think the first scene, not ruining anything, but just to give you an idea of how fucked the film is, like. It's so funny, man. The first scene is like Willy Wonka the Chocolate Factory, and like they all go there. And, you know, it's like it starts off just everything seems normal, but then it turns out like Willy Wonka's this like sadistic fuck, and he's like proper messed up, and he's basically trying to get he's making like a new chocolate or a new sweet, and he needs their like testicles for the nuts to make it like the nut flavor, but like obviously nuts is in like nuts. But you know, you know what I mean. You get the fucking bands. Correlation. Yeah, you get the bands, and it's literally like him and his Oompa Loompas like trying to get their fucking nuts, and it's weird, mate. It sounds weird. But it's so. And then they get locked in this room and they find a closet. They go to Narnia, and it's like it just takes the piss of mate. It's a funny film.
It sounds trashy but funny, like enjoyable. You know.
It's trashy. Yeah, like it's a trashy film. It's a weird film, mate.
Hence
I need to watch it again because obviously when you're a kid, any film's good, I guess.
That's the thing. I've never really seen a film that I really hate. Like, I've told you this before. I know you've had films that you really don't like, but like I think I just appreciate like I'll think like that was alright. It was okay. I don't despise a film. Like
I've had one film that I've walked out of in the cinema, Ghost Rider 2: Spirit of Vengeance, mate. Holy fuck of fucks.
See, to walk out, I would never do that. I would just watch.
I need to look at these reviews. Maybe it's just me. Ghost Rider.
Have you seen the movie Sausage Party?
It was a what's that?
Sausage Party. Have you seen it?
I love that film.
It's so messed up, but it's hilarious. It's a great film. Watching that, did you see it in the cinema? Experiencing that film with other people is the weirdest thing. Guys, if you are young, don't watch Sausage Party, but...
Is it that fucked up?
It's an 18, or at least it should be. I think it's a 15, actually. But
wait, there's one part that's really fucked. Is it the end?
The very end.
Yeah, that is fucked up. Yeah. I remember watching that and being like, "What the fuck?"
I looked around in the cinema at everyone to see the reactions. But
no, I didn't watch it in the cinema. No, I didn't. I watched it on.
That's got 83% on Rotten Tomatoes though. So your Epic Movie on 2% is looking weak right now.
Well, I've just looked up Ghost Rider 2. I think it was 2. Yeah, it is 2. Spirit of Vengeance. Can't believe I remember that, man. Was Nicolas Cage? Oh my actual god! It was definitely the worst film I've ever seen, and it was me and a few mates went to go see it in the cinema. We all like agreed to walk out, so it had to be bad.
Yeah,
we all thought, "What the fuck are we watching?" And it wasn't. I don't even know if we were halfway through it. I swear, it was so bad. But a film that I've actually watched the whole thing, and then at the end genuinely felt robbed of my time was a recent film, very recent. What was it called? I don't know if I put the name up there. Hold on. It's called The 1517 to Paris. Oh my god. You have no idea what it feels like to be robbed unless you watch this film. I swear, like you genuinely...
Wait, when did you watch this?
Mate, a month or two ago, I think.
So it was recently. I feel like I've seen somewhere you complaining about this.
I tweeted about it. I think James tweeted about just being seeing the worst film, stuff like that. But
yeah, I think I saw.
It's hard to explain because, so basically, for no one who knows what this film's about, or anyone who's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It's a new film. Hasn't really been advertised. I mean, I haven't seen any advertisements. It's no one really knows what it is, but it's in the cinema. Clint Eastwood directed it, and the idea of it is it's as accurate reenactment as possible of the what was almost a terrorist attack on the train to Paris from, I think, I don't want to get this wrong. I think it was Amsterdam to Paris. I'm not sure.
The ratings aren't good on this film though. Like, I think your stuff is justified.
It's hard to explain, and it's hard to critique as well because it does what it's meant to do.
That's the thing. Yeah,
it's bad. So,
is it like artistically well?
Okay, so the idea, so basically the story is, and it's a true story, which is why it's hard to. You understand what I mean? Let me explain this whole situation because it's a head fuck, and I didn't realise this till it finished, so I was very much robbed. If I at least knew this before, like anyway. So the 1517 to Paris, like the train was literally the 1517, I think, like the time of the train. that was the time the train came to like Paris. That's why it's called that, and it was a genuine thing that happened. The train went to Paris. On the way, there was a one terrorist who wanted to shoot up the whole train. He went to the toilet. This isn't spoilers or anything, guys. This actually happened. Like, this is on the news. Yeah. He went to the toilet, loaded up his AK-47, came out, was about to like, start, killing motherfuckers, and then this one guy who was like ex-military, just runs at him, and he was gonna get shot, but the gun jammed. And he ended up, him and two of his mates ended up beating the fuck out of him and saving everyone's lives, basically. But what's even crazier about it, to be fair, it's an insane story, because he ran at this guy, and it actually happened. Like, he ran at this guy, which is one, ballsy enough to just run at a gun like that. The gun jammed, so he would have died instantly, obviously, if the gun wasn't jammed. And then he got the gun off him, got him in a headlock, dude, and the guy pulls a handgun. The guy had another gun, puts it to his head, and that gun jammed as well.
Right.
I swear. And this is all true. This is all real.
Yeah.
So, like, two guns that were going to kill him both jammed. The chance of that is, like, just absolutely crazy. And then he got stabbed a couple times as well. Yeah, exactly. They just don't. It doesn't happen. So, it's mad. So, the idea of the film is basically just to give you... so basically Clint Eastwood casted these guys. The people that actually were on that train were the actual cast. So it wasn't actors.
Really?
It was actually them, yeah, which is technically the selling point of the film. But they're terrible actors, and it's so hard. And the whole film, man, I swear to God, because it is meant to be as close as possible to what actually happened. But what actually happened was boring. The train scene,
there's not a lot you can do.
Dude, the whole train scene was the last like 20 minutes. Before that, it's literally a film about three guys on holiday, and oh my God, I cannot believe it's a film. It is the worst film I think I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible, but if you're looking for the best visual representation of what happened,
experience,
that's the best you're ever gonna get. If that's what you're looking for, you'll love the film.
Yeah, but so it's basically it's not been like Hollywoodified, if that makes sense. Like, it's just
it is as bland as it gets. It is, and I don't know why they thought it'd be a good idea, man. To like,
I suppose maybe it's like.
It's a 2-hour film.
A concept is like intriguing almost.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why it's hard to critique, but I just can't believe it. At the end of that film, me and James looked at each other and I was like, I cannot believe I've wasted my evening watching this film with you. Like, this has genuinely been like awful. This has been the worst film. And man, felt robbed. The only action was the last like 20 minutes. And what's interesting is it wasn't just those the three heroes that were casted. It was the people like there was one guy who got shot and almost killed. He got casted for the film to play that exact moment. So he had to play himself getting shot in the exact same
Surely
place.
That's got to do something to your head, like.
Yeah. They were talking about it in interviews and that, and he said, "Yeah, no, I want to do it." Like, it's almost like closure, in a sense, for a lot of them. But he got shot in the stomach or in the back, and it like ricocheted off his spine or something like that, off a bone, and came out his neck. Something crazy like that. And I was like, shit, man, it's weird. But it's just, it's a bad film. I wouldn't waste your time watching it, unless, of course, you want to see what it was like for those three people. But the main actor, oh my God. Oh my God, man.
What?
It's just, I was laughing the whole film. It was laughable, I swear.
Yeah.
And, like, I've never seen such bad acting. I can't believe they sold it. I cannot believe it. And there's an interview. I know I'm rambling, sorry. But there's an interview on I think the Jimmy Kimmel show or something like that, and Clint Eastwood's getting interviewed, and he said like, would you cast him again? He's like, no chance. He's like, that's it, me and these guys are done, like, that's it, I'm never casting him again. But fuck, man, bad film.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like, here, like, we were talking about,
holy
the whole like film thing, like, you said, like, terrible film. I'm looking at a lot of reviews that say amateurish acting, blah blah blah. It's like, it's bad, but then like $30 million budget, $55 million gross, you can't really complain. But like it's I don't know.
I get what you mean. That's what I mean. At the end of the day, if it makes profit, it makes profit.
Almost any big film is profitable. If you can put millions into it, you'll probably get millions out.
If it hits the cinema, man, there's a lot of people who probably just want to watch everything in the cinema. Like, I'm sure there's thousands of people who do that.
Well, if you've got like unlimited movies,
that's what I've got. Yeah, I recently picked that up.
I need
one of those unlimited cards.
I really need to do that.
Oh, mate, you have to go twice to pretty much break even, and then any time after that, you've made your money back.
Literally.
And some. Like, you know, if you can go 3 times a month. Yeah. You have to go 3 times to make it your money's worth, basically. But realistically, 2 times, so like £1 or 2 under, I think, if you go 2 times.
yeah.
So it's like those unlimited movie cards are sick, and it just, you know, it's, you can go watch a film and like you know those films that you want to see, but you can't really justify.
You don't want to. Yeah.
You end up watching those films. Which at the same time,
could you literally, like, if you've got this like card, could you literally just spend the day at the cinema watching 4 films?
You can watch whatever you want, whenever you want. That's it. It's unlimited access to the cinema.
You could abuse that.
Pure abuse.
You could live at like Tower Park or something. Like, you could go to the gym.
Oh yeah, fully.
Get your food. Mate, that sounds sick now.
But you end up watching a lot of like shit films. So like this film, for example.
I've not really had that experience yet, so maybe that's what I would need. But.
To be fair, yeah, before this film, I would only really say Ghost Rider 2 was like a film that I'd say is bad. And there's a lot, even if a film's not great, you get something out of it. You know,
it's like okay, yeah, it's like decent, better than what you would have done had you just done nothing, basically. Like that's kind of
yeah.
And the cinema experience as a whole does improve things, like having the screen, the surround sound.
Oh no, I love the cinema, man. I absolutely love the cinema.
And then on the reverse side, when you get like a true banger in the cinema, like say like a big blockbuster, or like you watch a sick film, that feels amazing.
Have you seen Black Panther yet?
Yes,
that's a sick film.
That was a good experience to watch in the cinema. Like,
yeah, it's a great film.
How long have we been going? This feels.
The podcast?
Yeah.
Hour 44, mate. Apparently,
Yikes.
obviously that's probably an hour and 34, maybe. I don't know how long we did.
Yeah, it's probably like an hour and a half. Should we start to wrap it up?
Go for it, mate. Yeah, let's do it.
We could keep going, but I think if you watch this far, let us know down in the comments with your favourite movie, just so you know we know.
Leave your comment,
that could bring
and then
up some
at the end
points.
say, and
yeah. Don't just put like, oh, I really rate the 15-17 to Paris. What you're saying, like, you know, but
something
like
tells me we won't be getting that comment. I don't think so.
But I don't think so. And if there are any Cineworld execs watching this video, you want to sponsor the podcast, hook us up. If you're watching this far, then drop us an email.
Yeah, fucking yeah, they can get hook us up.
As if anyone's going to be watching that far.
Yeah, exactly.
But
let's finish this off by what's your favourite films? Like 1 or 2 favourite films. Let's just finish off with that. I thought that'd be interesting.
Okay, favourite film. I don't know if I can pick a whole entire favourite, but so the Hunger Games quad series, the series of 4, the Hunger Games.
Okay.
I really, really, really love those.
Fair enough.
See, like, I could be like extremely basic. If I thought more about it, I'd probably think of another one. But like off the top of my head, just Harry Potter and Hunger Games, those two, so much enjoyment from those. Like those films, games, everything that's come out of it. Like, but then I know if I thought longer about it, probably longer than the time we have left, like I would think of some like real bangers. But
yeah, I've probably fucked
off the top of my head, those two. They really, what about you? Like,
for me, best. I've always got an answer prepared for these because the amount of times you get asked like what your favorite film is.
I probably should actually. Yeah.
If anyone asks me, like, I always have it. So like my favorite game, I always say The Last of Us. My favorite song, what's that?
I didn't hear that. What was your favorite?
Sorry,
game?
Mate, I'll say it. My favorite game, I'd always say The Last of Us. Did you ever finish that?
No, I just couldn't get into it. I
know
the best part is at the end, but I just couldn't.
Okay, mate, I swear to God, the first time I played it, I didn't like it for the first like quarter. I was like, oh, but then I just honestly, mate, best single player gaming experience of my life. I'm just gonna say that. Favorite song. Whenever anyone asks me that, I'm always like Hotel California by the Eagles. That's just I don't know why.
I couldn't pick a favorite song. My taste differs so much.
That's the thing, and no, you can't because it always changes. Like I don't think anyone keeps the same. There's no song you can listen to.
If you know that's your like favorite and like.
But I'm just favorite of all time because every song gets boring and you have to keep listening to new songs. But just of all time, like Hotel California is one that I can always come back to, and it's like you're a tune.
Right.
But favorite film, until the other day was Interstellar.
Okay, I knew that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Interstellar's an absolutely incredible film. Incredible, fucking incredible. And there's loads of incredible films, man, like Logan, Inception, like there's all these crazy films. Yeah, The Incredibles. Yeah. But what I watched recently, man, I genuinely think it might be my favorite film of all time.
Okay.
A Bronx Tale,
for
mate.
The viewers? A Bronx Tale.
Bronx Tale, mate.
Right.
I don't know why. Okay, so it's set in 1960s, like the Bronx and New York.
Yeah.
But it was made in 1991, I think, the 1990s anyway, and it was directed by Robert De Niro, and he casted it as well.
Robert De Niro, mate.
Hey,
I like him.
Oh, mate, he's amazing, and this film is incredible.
And is he acting in it as well?
Yeah, he acted. He's one of the main characters in it as well. Yeah, he plays the dad of the main character.
I'd happily watch anything with him in it, so I might have to give it a try.
Watch A Bronx Tale, man, but I don't want to big it up because it's not.
It's personal taste, I guess.
It's all subjective, but there's been a few films like in the past that people have bigged up for me, and then I've watched it, and because it was bigged up, it's not as good. So I really don't want to do that. But there's something about this film that I get a lot from it, and I don't know why. You need to watch it to understand what I'm saying. Yeah, but it's very unpredictable, and it's just the whole vibe. It's got its own, because it is the Bronx is obviously it's one of those places that like it's really got its own vibe, and they really portray it well. Like the music, the 19 sort of like 60s vibe, they do it amazingly, man. And it's something about that film, mate. When it ends, the first time it ended, because I've watched it twice already, and I saw it for the first time like last week. I've already seen it again, and I'll probably watch it a third time soon.
Oh, but, speaking of, I just remembered The Interview. That's a sick film.
That's a great film. Yeah, I love that film as well. I wouldn't say it's one of my favourites.
Yeah, favourite film, not sure, but that just sprung to mind.
Yeah, that's a sick film. It's a sick film. But yeah, no, A Bronx Tale, man. That film ended, and I just felt like I've just elevated. Like I just felt like I've learned something. I felt complete. Like I was like, yeah, that is. I was literally sat there when it ended. I was like, wow, like that was. I don't know why, but that was an incredible film. Honestly, give it a go. If a lot of you are young, you might not. What's the word when you don't appreciate something? Yeah, that's it. A lot of younger viewers maybe won't appreciate it because it's an old sort of style film.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, A Bronx Tale. Wow. Love that film. I
tell you what, I know I'm going off on like a little bit of a tangent like towards the end, but like another film that I remember coming out feeling really inspired by, like, is Tomorrowland by Disney. I don't know why, but something about that film made me want. It's a sick film, dude. It made me want to like make my own films. Like in terms of favorite film, like I said, I really don't know, but that film really like I've watched it a few times.
I keep talking like it's a fucking place apparently.
I was like, I really want to be like a filmmaker now. It's one of those that really like.
Oh, I've seen this. This is a great film.
Yeah, that got me. I was like, wow.
Oh shit! I haven't seen that in long. I probably need to watch that again. I can't even remember what happens.
And George Clooney, and those are the basic.
Yeah. I'm looking at. I'm looking at Google Images now. No, I've seen this film.
Sick film.
I saw it with my dad. I think actually, great film. But I can't remember what it's about. What happens? Don't say it now because obviously don't want to ruin anything.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the favorite films.
Holy shit! Could go on for years about films.
Literally, it just could keep going. Like we both have like a pretty big interest in film as well. So. If you have enjoyed the podcast, then be sure to leave a like on it. Let's try and break 70 likes. I think the first two podcasts both got 68 likes. That might have changed, but I think they're both very similar. So let's try and shoot for 70. Saying that an hour and a half in probably isn't the best way to make it happen, but if you could leave a like, then be sure to do that. Pretty much. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see new podcasts every single week. Random stuff. Again, this like it just flows so well after the start, doesn't it? So,
mate, I just. Holy shit! When we started this podcast, do you remember I said I'm going to start with that story?
Yeah. I never
even, mate.
We didn't touch on that story.
We didn't touch a single note.
We got next week.
All the notes I have, we didn't touch a single note apart from the week of work experience at Tesco. But I think I jotted that down halfway through the podcast actually.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, no, we didn't.
I was gonna speak about my work experience as well. It didn't even happen either.
It's just crazy how they work. It's why I love podcasts, man. I absolutely love doing them.
Yeah, I never like face value. Some people like might say, "Oh, podcasts are boring," but like if you really give your attention, like not like full attention by like watching, but like if you do just like listen and stay invested in it, it's so interesting.
I love them, man. Absolutely love listening to them and like fucking making them as well. Absolutely love it. I get so into it. I could honestly go for hours now.
Get too into it because like we could talk about going for hours. Then something else will just pop up. Something else will pop up. So like
I wasn't even keeping an eye. And I keep going on, man. I need to let you finish this, but I wasn't even keeping an eye on how long we were going on for. I swear. And then you were like, "Oh, how long are we going?" I was like, looked at it. I was like, "Wow, an hour 44. That's mad."
Literally, yeah.
That's mad.
I clocked it when we were like half an hour in, but other than that, then like an hour just went by. I don't like. Yeah. We spoke about so much, but like. We're going to have to try and end this, so if you want to check out like Max in the description, myself, you can do that. And anything? Do you want to do
How
the
many subs are we
outro?
on? How many subs are we
Nearly
on?
200. Hopefully 200 by the time this is sort of settled on the internet. 193.
Mate, I haven't shouted it out on my channel yet. What the fuck am I doing?
I haven't either. Like, I put it in my
Oh, you kind of have though in the community.
I put it in the tab, but like, like in a video, I haven't really spoken about it that much.
I haven't even done community though. I've only shared it on Twitter.
Yeah,
I need to go on that.
The sports. It'd be interesting to see like when there's 10 episodes out, how the growth.
Mate, when this
progressed,
podcast hits, like I say when, because I feel like it's inevitable, but it kind of isn't. But it kind of is. I don't know, because we both got like multiple thousands like of subscribers, but then it's a podcast, so out of those people, like who's gonna listen to a podcast? It's a very, it's growing, but. A lot, like you said, at face value, I think a lot of people. It's quite
too soon as well to like kind of judge really how it is all going, how it's being received.
Yeah, we have no idea. Like, but what I was trying to say was like hitting 1,000 is going to be scenes on this channel. That will be scenes.
It feels so sick.
It would feel incredible.
It is literally just the because it feels like. Although technically, like we got these subscribers because I kind of shouted it out, it still feels like we've earned them because
exactly.
In a way, we're putting a lot into these sort of these topics, these conversations, these videos, and it's really rewarding, like really rewarding. I
both got over 1,000 views, and it's crazy.
The fact that I think what's crazy to me is like how the second one's got 500 views more than the first. I don't really know. That's crazy to me. I don't know if it's the title. Maybe it's quite intriguing.
Probably, I think pilot episode isn't really,
but like that's crazy. So
clickbait. Yeah. Pilot episode.
Oh, and I'm sure like in a year, I'm sure like we'll probably because I think. At some point it'd be a good idea to do to vary the thumbnails a bit, maybe to really fit the episode individually.
Thumbnails something we'll work on very soon.
But really the current template was just to get us started. I think we've done it pretty well. So
yeah, exactly. We just wanted to start because we've been talking about it for so long. Even like 2 years ago when we did the first one with exactly.
We
that's when we
first the proper thing together.
Again,
we're talking.
Fuck me! How long are we in now, mate? Almost 2 hours. Sort out,
here's the thing,
don't even let me interrupt.
I'm getting dark. Like the face cam is getting dark right now because I'm not.
Why does that happen?
Light on. Just the natural light is running out.
Oh,
I'm running out of light here, man. I'm trying to keep on bright browser windows, but
I'm sorry.
That's all good. So, obviously in the future we'll fix out face cam issues, graphics, blah blah. We'll keep improving the podcast, keep having fun. If you haven't enjoyed it, be sure to let us know by leaving a like and a comment. And that's it for the Matt and Max podcast, episode 3. A sick one. I'm not going to talk about how sick it is because we'll keep talking. But yeah, thank you for watching.
I love that. That was fun.
And see you guys later.
Peace.